Good day. Good Wednesday. Good day. Going live a little bit late today. I'm 5 minutes late. Oh, man, I had a juicy Twitter post I had to get out, guys. So please forgive me for being late. And I know then I jump into my StreamYard and I notice I didn't even create a YouTube for this. So we're doing it live. We're doing it like right now. Like it's like I just got done telling somebody a few minutes ago, like done is better than perfect. We're just gonna go for it. And while you guys are populating, I've got to repost a Twitter post that I made. Matter of fact, if you guys want to check it out, let me see if it's on my clipboard. No, it's not. I'll get it there. I'll drop it in here and you guys can go have a look at it. This is interesting, guys. This is very interesting. So let me go repost this. Now is you guys' a chance to check your phones and get caught up on your comms and all that stuff if you guys need to do that. Hey, Vishal. It's good to see you, man. Vishal Patel. I think you must be Indian. Is that, if you could just, I'm always curious where people are and what nationalities they are and that sort of thing. So just put up with me. Give me a second. I'm distracted, distracticated, as my children would say. Come on, man. Prairie banana, where there he is. I didn't notice it because it was in pink. Okay, hold up. I've got to repost this. Check this out, guys. I'll share it in the link. I'll share it in the chat. Here you go. Watch this. Go look at that post I just made, guys. You guys aren't going to believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. Go check out that post on my Twitter. Give me a second. I got to repost it from the Gray's account. So funny. Oh, I forgot to use more hashtags. Oh, well. It'll work. Hope you guys are doing good today. We're going to run through this. We're going to run through this presentation. We're going to try to get all the juice out of it and move on with life. Because, guys, I have made an important discovery. Short videos on YouTube and X go crazy. I've picked up 100 Twitter followers in like 48 hours. I've created only 2 short videos. One has over 18,000 impressions. That one I posted would have been Monday about the mailers. That one has gone bananas. And people love those videos. And I'm driving them to that Telegram right here. I'm steering people toward my Telegram that I created. And I'm up to like over 70 people are in there. And some of those people there's at least one new guy, but he's been in PulseChain for 3 months. So he's relatively new. But the idea for that Telegram is to attract people that are brand spanking new to the chain. That's the whole reason for it. And then we owe it to them. They almost owe it to themselves to get a bag of pTGC and UFO, because those are the not only are they the best assets on the chain, but they're an index of the best assets on the chain. Hello. Start with pTGC and UFO and then go play in the casino. Go get you some core assets after that. Go, mess around with other stuff, but get your Gray's currencies first. That's priority numero uno. And that's the whole reason, guys, why I created that Telegram. That is the reason. And if you guys want to join it, here's the link. It literally, okay, spoiler, that post that there's the link for is about, check this out. What are the last 5 characters of the link to the Telegram that I created? Who wants to tell me? Just tell me in the chat. I'm not going to spoil it, actually. I'll let you spoil it. All right, guys. I'm having too much fun, and I'm asking you to join me. Yeah. Where do I begin? Well, we can start at, as we always do. Let's go over to, how's my audio? I mean, if the audio's crashed, if the audio's terrible, here, I'll put this up on the screen too. There, guys. Oh, I gotta share my screen, and then I gotta get my slide deck pulled up. If you're new to this, sometimes this is how we started out. We just kind of go live and then get things set up. I know it's terrible, but it allows you guys to get check your phones and all that stuff. Good afternoon, David. So I got that. Now I get my slides, and there. Okay, I'm set. Let's look at the chart and let's get buzzing through this thing. So you guys are invited to join that Telegram. It's going to be, grays heavy. I am posting, things that I find interesting in there that I normally wouldn't post in the main chat. That makes sense. And I'm really trying to be careful about, honey pumping or stealing users and doing all that stuff. And if I mess up, guys, just let me know. But I'm really trying to, keep things. It's all for the grays, all for the grays currencies, which are pTGC and UFO. That's the reason for that chat. So let's have a look at the grays currencies. What's shaken in crypto altogether, right? What is shaken? Well, Bitcoin is up 2.5%. Let's get me out of the way. It's up 2.5% today. That is a pretty sizable advancement for Bitcoin. Ethereum is up, look, they were identical, 2.5%. And then Pulse is 0.6%. So what'll happen is that Ethereum, because it's a leverage on Bitcoin, it will exceed Bitcoin here before long. And then Pulse will exceed Ethereum, and pTGC will exceed Pulse. And that's just how it works, mainly. But let's have a look at our main character here, the one where we are all most interested in seeing successful. pTGC is up in the last 6 days. It's up 19%. And UFO, how is it doing? I haven't even looked at UFO. I'm not bearish on UFO by any means, but in the last, what did I say, 6 days? I think so, something like that. It's up 13%. Go UFO. Vishal, you're from London, but you're from, hold on a second. Are you from Canada? Is that the Canadian, is that a Canadian maple leaf? Sorry, I'm not super up on what that image is. Yeah, cool. London, UK. Somehow I thought you were Indian with a name like Vishal Patel, but yeah. Okay, cool. Canada. Yep, just north of me. Right on. So let's do it, guys. Especially if you're new, we're 10 minutes in. Let's just get into the content. So what we do on this channel is we talk mostly about the grays currencies. Like, I'll tell you exactly what I do. I do this presentation 2 times per week, and we're going to walk through the whole ecosystem. It's like a master class on pTGC and UFO. And then twice a week, we're doing spaces with the founder and the whole community. And those are on Saturdays and Mondays. I'll show you the schedule, probably show you the schedule at the end of this. And then what else do we do? We have voice chats twice a week. That's a pTGC community effort from Zen, the founder of pTGC and UFO. And then what I'm doing twice a week now also is trying to onboard people to PulseChain. Like Richard Hart is providing the millions of dollars of marketing effort to draw eyeballs to PulseChain. We are going to intercept, like in football, you got an interception or how do you call it in football when like somebody's supposed to catch the ball, but you catch the ball instead? Is that an interception? I think it is. We're trying to intercept. It's not like that. It's really not an interception. It's more like an assist. We want to bring people onto PulseChain, right? So we're going to assist Richard Hart. That's the term. We are going to assist Richard Hart in his effort to bring people to PulseChain. So I'm bringing them into a Telegram where they can ask any questions, whether they're brand spanking new to crypto and they need to know how to set up a wallet or that sort of thing. I'm bringing them into a Telegram that I know will be because I'm going to keep it that way, a safe place for people to ask their questions where they're not going to be made fun of, because everybody that's been in crypto right now for the last 4 years is an OG, and we kind of tend to we can talk loftily and think we're something, right? And that all the new people in, but the new people in need a safe place because they don't know the language, and we don't need to, we just need to take them by the hand and bring them through the steps to get them onto PulseChain, because that's the only reason they end up in my chat is because they're interested in PulseChain. And then that chat is going to be Gray's currency heavy, and they're going to end up in the Gray's currencies. Hello. It's a win. It's a win for PulseChain, and it's a win for the Grays. And I will be tracking, like I'll do a poll at the end of September to see perhaps how many people are like brand new to PulseChain. I'll see if we've actually garnered any, and at the end of October, we'll do the same. That's my goal. I hope they come. I really do. Just up the road. Where are you? So you must be in, I don't know. I need to visit that part of the world, Scotland, Ireland, somewhere in there. So what is special about the Gray's currencies is that they are an index of the best tokens on the chain. And I always struggle to figure out where to tie this comment in. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you something that's very important for you to understand when you come into crypto, especially when you're looking at getting a position perhaps in the Gray's currencies. And that what you need to do is go to your DEX screener, which always will pull up the price chart in USD. Watch my cursor. You see that USD right there? But there's a couple ways that you can look at this asset right here. You can look at it in USD, but you can also look at it in the paired asset, in this case, PLS. So what you can do is flip the chart. Let's look at it on a monthly scale. There's the monthly. And then we'll flip the chart from, I'm going to have to change it again, from USD to WPLS, and we'll put it again on the monthly. There you go. So pTGC is up against PLS, not only in dollars, but in PLS, if that makes sense. And then what you can do is you can look at pTGC and how it's moving up against all of the assets that it's paired with. I mean, I think practically all of them. I think, I know all the core. It's up against all the cores, including PDI, because I just looked at that one this morning. pTGC and UFO are up against all of them, and I've got the slides to prove it. And you can prove it to your own self in DEX Screener. So do that. And so what you got to ask yourself is, should I buy core assets first, or should I buy pTGC first? Because pTGC is outperforming core assets. So and because it's an index of all the cores, because it's bonded to all of them, if you hold pTGC, you hold a piece of all the cores. the Pulse, PulseX, Hacks, and Inc., and many others. So you start with pTGC, you start with UFO, because UFO is different mechanics, but it's basically the same as an index as far as it being an index. So you start with these two tokens, and then you go venture out. But if you have any questions about that, that's when you pull up your deck screener and look at pTGC Pulse, pTGC Hex, pTGC Pulse X, and you're going to see the same thing. I will show it to you. I will show you. And I'll show you exactly how to do this too. It's time we do this. So let's go to pTGC, other pairs, select other pairs. Then you can see all of the paired assets. Let's look at pTGC Hex. pTGC Hex on the weekly. There it is in, that's just the standard pTGC USD chart. But let's look at it in Hex terms. So what has happened is this means that it has been costing more and more Hex to buy pTGC, because it's up since the second month, since this is the monthly, it's up 46,000% against Hex. So if you had held Hex instead of pTGC, you would have been diluted versus pTGC by 46,000%, which is, I think, it might be 460x or something like that, or 4,600x. I'm not the best with all of that. But you can do that with all the assets that pTGC is paired with. Like, let's say you hold a big old bag of XYZ token and it's got a bond with pTGC. Pull up the chart on Deck Screener and see how it's performing with pTGC. And if pTGC is outperforming it, you might want to leave yourself a little just in case bag, a little JIC bag. But y'all, everybody's required, look at my recent post on Twitter, to get a just in case bag of pTGC. And it's just become more apparent. Guys, did anybody want to answer my discovery? Like, what's the last 5-digit characters of that Telegram link, guys? Has it hit you? Maybe it doesn't matter as much to you as it does to me. David, come through for me, David. David can figure it out. Oh, guys. Make sure you vote at plsfolio.com. www.plsfolio.com. Vote for pTGC and UFO. You got it, Jay. You got it, man. Index. You know the odds of that? I asked ChatGPT last night. I only asked it once, so I didn't I didn't fact check it. I should ask Rock. The odds of me being assigned a Telegram link with one NDEX as the last 5, one NDEX index, the odds of that are 1 to 1.07 billion. Yeah. Come on, man. 1 point, that's a billion is 1,000 million. I knew it was going to be over 1 million, but it's over 1 billion. The odds. What? It's the exact last 5 characters of that Telegram link. Gee, man. Isn't that brilliant? I didn't plan it that way. It was completely random. Absolutely. I had no control over that. And I was getting the link for somebody this last night. And I was like, what? I noticed it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, it blew my mind. And I sent it over to a buddy. You guys all know him. And he's like, what did he say? He's like, wow, that's interesting. I'm like, is that all you have to say? You could do better than that. But I sent it over to another buddy, and she was just like, too, man. My wife tries to calm me down. I think she was blown away, but she wasn't showing it. Girls have a way of doing that. So anyhow, here is, I want to show you guys pTGC versus the core, the core assets and the performance over it's about a year, almost a year, from September through the end of July. So look at the response in the Grays currencies with any upward pressure from the 4 cores, guys. Look at that, man. I mean, if that doesn't make you excited about what's coming, I just don't know what to tell you. Well, let's look at a representation of pTGC and UFO as index tokens. There you go. pTGC and UFO are bonded with all of those tickers in the outer circle. UFO has the most bondage with the core assets, and it even has more, it has thicker liquidity with the core assets. And we're going to talk about the differences between all of these, and we're going to get into some moon math and all that fun stuff. We're going to show you how to work all of these tokens on the DApp and make money with them passively. But what you're seeing right here is they're bonding with the core assets. So they're an index of all those assets on the outside. So if you own pTGC, you own UFO, you own a little bit of all those assets. Now the same is true for themselves. If you own pTGC, pTGC is an index of UFO and vice versa. And their heaviest bond is with each other, and their second biggest bond is with PLS. That's how it works. Okay, let's go to, I don't think we're going to skip Secreto Bank today, but Secreto Bank is a site that you can see all the LPs. It's www.secretobank.com. There you have it, secretobank.com. You can see all the volume too. It's a really cool site. And I use it every day, practically every day. And the volume right now, hey, John May. But the volume right now is like really low, really low. It's like sad right now, but it always picks back up, guys. Hey, John, check out the Telegram link that I made completely randomly. I'm popping it in the chat completely randomly for my Telegram, and you guys can join the Telegram too if you want. It's for bringing people over onto PulseChain, but look at the last 5 characters, John. Okay, let's go to the next slide, which is the difference. Crypto Queen, what's going to be epic? Give me some background. Thank you, Crypto Queen. I appreciate you doing that, reposting the stream. So here's the differences between pTGC and UFO. The main differences is pTGC is a 5% community fee, UFO 6%. pTGC's LP is burnt, UFO's is user provided. pTGC is older, has more tokens burned, and more wallets. There you go. 16,000 wallets, 16,000 pTGC wallets, and only 6,000 UFO wallets. It's my opinion that UFO is a little undervalued right now. It's underappreciated by everybody. But actually, there are a lot of people that do appreciate UFO, and I don't think that anybody overappreciates it. If you follow me there, I don't think anybody overappreciates UFO. Hold on, guys. We have several slides that we're going to show. Good morning, Dosteezy. And we're just going to work our way through them. We're going to work our way through the whole presentation. Probably take about 90 minutes total, and we're 25 minutes in. So it's not super long. There is the total liquidity, and that was as of August. RH cores in the gold, and then the total in the green. And those aren't stacked on top. They're stacked on top of each other, but they don't merge, if that makes sense. Okay, guys. So there's your liquidity totals, and then the fees for each. Here's your fees for each of these. It's actually where they go. With pTGC, 2% goes to the Dow, 1% to holders, 1% to stakers. 0.5% burns pTGC and 0.5% bonds pTGC and Pulse, and sends those LP tokens to the dead address where they can be used, but they cannot be burned. Well, they're burned. They're burned in the dead address, but they cannot be removed. The LP cannot be removed. pTGC's almost all of pTGC's LP is burnt. Now, UFO's fees, 3% goes to LP providers, 1% to holders, 1% burns UFO, 1% burns pTGC. The UFO burns a lot of pTGC. It's almost like, and it kind of, I really need to put that into a slide. I'll do that somehow, but just know that UFO burns a lot of pTGC, and it has, and it goes in cycles, I think is what I was getting at. Sometimes it burns more, sometimes it burns less. Like it went on a run, UFO did last fall, early winter, and it burned a lot of pTGC. And the pTGC holders are thankful for that. UFO is that sleeping giant. Do not sleep on UFO. Absolutely. And I keep hearing it from people. You keep hearing whispers of it, you know. Oh, look at the last 5, John. Look at the last 5 of that Telegram link that I created. I was thinking about it. Like, honestly, I created it to bring people into the Grace currency. Okay. That's like the root reason. But I'm bringing them from Pulse into PulseChain to get them onto the Grace currency. So yeah, that's the reason for that Telegram is the Grace currencies. Ultimately, it's not about me, but it has to be in order to get them in. So in the last 5 guys. Hello, Josh. It's good to see you. Pulse rewards. And you get Pulse rewards for LPing UFO. That's right, Crypto Queen. Good to see. Yeah, it's cool to see relationships being built in the chat. You get all sentimental. Don't make me want to slap myself. No, it's all right. It's good. Oh, where are we? I think we are going to... We talked about the fees. Oh, one thing I always want to mention is that, okay, these are reward-based tokens. So when you hold pTGC and UFO, you're earning reflections. That's great. As price goes up, and this is one thing you need to understand, as the price of these assets goes up, for every dollar of volume, you're going to earn fewer reward tokens, but you're going to earn the same value in tokens. Okay. I hope that makes sense. If price comes down, for every dollar in volume, you're going to earn the same value, but in more tokens, which is great, because we love it when price comes down. That means we've gotten more volume, because of the price is correcting and the bots are having to reset all the prices. So we get volume when price corrects to the down. If it corrects to the down direction, we get the volume, we get more tokens. And then when it goes back to the previous high, for example, the tokens we earned when it was low are worth that much more. So we earn more tokens when it's down, fewer tokens when it's up, but it's like we win either way. Actually, I think we win more when the price is down, but it has to go back up for us to achieve that win, if that makes sense. But hey Vets, you're playing as the Crypto Queen. Yeah, I got it. I do a little bit of that myself sometimes. It's a good day, guys. Vets as the Crypto Queen. Tax-free LPing when using the UFO DApp. That is true, except in two. Okay, I'm going to address this now because you brought it up, and you may not be here for the whole thing. And it's worth noting it is tax-free except for 2 pairs. The pTGC UFO pair, you will pay the fee going into it and out of it. The UFO PLS pair, you will pay the UFO fee exiting. And just to be aware of that. Like I entered the PLS pair. I'm just going to stay there. And I never planned on exiting anyhow. But yeah, it's important to note. I would say it's all in the white paper. It's going to be in the book that I'm writing about the Gray's currencies that I just got back from my lady in Pakistan for me to review. Hopefully I can get that done this afternoon. I really want to get this book done because we're going to need it, man. With all the adoption coming, we're going to get some books out there. All right. Now, I got to start using my cursor to help me keep track of where I am. Yeah, it's important to know. Okay, slide 6, alien tech. With pTGC, you literally have more coming into the system than is going out of the system. You have 5% going to 5%. Yeah, 5% going to LP, 0.5% burning tokens, and 2% going to the DAO. But you have 2% that can be extracted from the system because 2% is going to the holders and the stakers. So do you notice in this image how there is a net 20% retained in the system? And that's with every single trade. Every single trade keeps 20% in the system. But then we have diamond-handed holders too that are keeping their stuff in the system, myself included, and many others. So what is the difference? What separates pTGC from every other token out there that's not a DAO? There's a key word in there, acronym. What separates pTGC from other tokens is the DAO. I just spoiled it. It also separates pTGC from UFO. I'll just tell it like it is. So the DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. And like we just saw in the previous image, 2% goes to the DAO. 2% of every buy, sell, and transfer. Did I not? Seems like I missed something here. Yeah, let me just insert I got it in here. We'll get to it next. Oh, perfect. Every buy, sell, and transfer, those fees get distributed. 2% goes to the DAO. What does the DAO do with that 2%? And it's sent to the DAO in PLS. It holds the PLS in what is called, did you get it, John May? Do you see what's there? It holds the PLS in what we call the treasury. Right now it's got 5-6 billion PLS in the treasury. Pretty cool. Just like every good investor should hold USDC on the side, the pTGC DAO holds Pulse. For what? Opportunities. Opportunities to buy tokens on the cheap. Opportunities to buy tokens on the cheap and pair them. Yeah, that's mainly what it does. Is it buys tokens on the cheap, pairs them with pTGC, and burns the LP, or it will just burn pTGC. That's what it does. And so the DAO literally allows pTGC to be like a ship on the sea, where it can pivot and turn and do U-turns and navigate around things. But a train on the track has to go up and down the track. If there's an obstacle in the way, it either has to go through it or stop and go in reverse. That is the beauty of the pTGC DAO. Isn't that cool, John? So that's good stuff. I'm wondering when my mic thingy here is ever going to break. I hope it never does, but I'm like, as much use as it gets, you'd figure one day I'm going to yank on it like that. It's going to go like, whoops. And then I'll just have to hold it in my hand, I guess, until I get a new one. So cool stuff going on over here in the Gray's ecosystem. Where do we get it from? The Grays, guys. The Grays. This is a gift from the Grays ecosystem is a gift from the Grays. They came down to change the course of humanity's financial asset system, and they're doing they've done a masterful job. They've created a masterful creation in both pTGC and UFO. And here is one of the alien techs. And this alien tech applies to both pTGC and UFO. And it's the bots. It's the AMM bots on PulseChain, the automated market maker bots that make the market. They balance out all the liquidity pairs. When there's a buy or a sell in the hex PLS pair, for example, and that reduces the price in that pair, in the hex PLS pair, and then the hex PulseX pair, the price in that pair, the hex price is high. Well, the AMM bots have to go buy and sell to even out those pairs. That is their job. And the Grays taught us that we can leverage those bots. We were the first protocol to ever do this. The Grays helped us solve the demand. What is it? The demand mystery. How do we solve the demand issue in crypto? We can solve the what do we call it? We can solve the supply issue by making our tokens supplies deflationary, but the demand issue, every other token has to have more and more users for price to go up. We technically don't need more users. We want more because the price goes up more quickly. And we want all of our friends to have exposure to these assets, but we technically don't need them because the bots are balancing the pairs. And when they're buying and selling through the pairs, they are paying the fee, rewarding holders, bolstering the DAO. It's the AMM bots. It's alien tech, guys, and it applies to pTGC and UFO. It's already time to get into the DApp. I love it. Let's go to the DApp, guys. This is the decentralized application. Had to think there for a second. How many eyeballs are in here? We got 111. Yeah. Let's go. I want to go see how many are on YouTube. Give me 1 second. I bet there's like 25. I bet there's only 25, and that's fine. You know, why is that fine? Because I get to practice. You get to practice. Now I'm going to play this, but I got to pause it so it doesn't disrupt the audio. But give me a second. Also issue for real world problems. Yes, crypto is going to solve a lot of real world problems. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got 19. Yeah, 19 in here watching. So, hey, 19 people on a red day. Yeah, thanks, John. I wish I should have just asked you. John 3:16 says, do you like CRO? I don't know what CRO is. But yes, thank you for encouraging people to smash the like. I'm getting my channel, by the way, side note, monetized again, like for the 4th time now. I got it initially monetized, and then they yanked it. And 4 times now, 3 times I have tried to appeal it. But yesterday I used ChatGPT and it gave it some very thorough answers in the appeal process. And so hopefully I can get it monetized. Why do I want it monetized? It's not for that, although that's fine. It is for the Grays currencies, because if the channel is monetized, YouTube will be incentivized to get it in front of more people, which is great for our bottom line, our wallet holders and all that stuff. CRO, send me the contract address. You know, can you PM it to me? John 3:16, just PM it to me. Trump made a big deal with them. Check it out. Yeah, please send me any kind of material you can on it. John, buy some pTGC or UFO. Yeah. It's at a good price. I mean, it may be a while before we see these prices again, if ever. $400 for a just in case bag of 1 million. $400 right now for pTGC. That would make, and you can buy 5 times as much UFO as you can pTGC. So that makes UFO about $80. I think $80 for just in case bag. If you wanted to, like a 5 million equivalent, 5 million. No, 5 million would be $400. So there you go. Let's get to the DAT. I got to take a sip. Hold on. Okay, here's the DAT, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you go to interact with the contract. And what you can do, actually, let me go to the staking page, because this is the UFO. We're going here next after we finish talking about pTGC. So this, I'm going to connect a different wallet to this DApp. Hold on a second. There we go. This is my standard wallet that I that I use. So what you can do, so let me just back up. You can do 3 things with pTGC. You can hold it, stake it, and lock it. Holding is simple. You buy the tokens, you keep them in your wallet. By the way, when you do buy, make sure you buy from a wallet you want to keep them on, because transferring them involves paying the fee, which is a bummer. But we built it that way, if I may say it that way. It was built that way to avoid people hacking the DAO, right? Because if you could vote from one wallet, because stakers get to vote, all stakers get to vote. Top 100 stakers can submit proposals to the DAO. But if you could transfer tokens to another wallet, then obviously you could vote and get many, many more votes on, and then skew the results of any proposal, which would be a bad deal. So we just made it so that you got to pay the fee if you transfer. So it was necessary, and let's put it that way. So you can do 3 things: hold, stake, lock. You don't got to do anything to get your tokens. When you're holding, your tokens come to your wallet automatically. You don't need to transact or nothing. It's kind of spooky how it happens. It's called reflections. They really literally just come straight into your wallet and start earning more reflections. But the other thing you can do with your pTGC is you can stake it. So you select the stake button here, however much you want to stake, sign it in your wallet, and then you'll have staked pTGC. You can have 1 stake per wallet. There's no time limits. You don't need to stake for a certain number of days. You just stake it. 1 stake per wallet, and you can unstake it at any time, and your yield is liquid. You can access that yield at any time. The yield sits in the contract. Let's show that to you. The yield, see, this wallet has earned 8,000. It's in the contract. As soon as I claim it right here, it'll go to my wallet and start earning more reflections. Now I can end the stake. There's no time limit, but I can end the stake, meaning make all of my pTGC liquid and transferable by selecting the withdraw button. And I can't do it right now because all of this is locked. But when you do withdraw, you're going to pay a 1% fee that goes back to all the other stakers. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And I think that's all we need to talk about with staking. There is more to locking than there is to staking. And we're going to cover that next. You have to be staked in order to lock your tokens. So if you want to lock 1 million tokens, they have to be staked first. We're going to spend a little bit of time on locking, and that'll be the last thing before we go to UFO. So if you want to lock, it must be staked, and then you select the lock button select however much you want to lock. And I don't have any tokens that are staked and not locked yet, if that makes sense. So I can't show you, but you can select anywhere from 90 days up to 3,650 days, which is 10 years. You can't even go a day beyond 3,650. And then you can select however much of the tokens that you want to lock. You can make a locking ladder. So you can have multiple locks per wallet. So you can make a locking ladder. A lot of guys do that. Let's show you the locking tiers. And then I'm going to tell you about some details about locking. A 90-day lock, and that's the minimum. You have the minimum lock minimum for 90 days. And then you can keep 55% of the tokens. So what happens is when you claim your tokens, they're sitting in the contract just like the stake tokens do. They sit in the contract, and then when you claim them, 45% will be sent to the dead address. So it burns 45% of the tokens that you earn. Now, if you lock for 1 to 2 years, you keep 60%. 10 years, you keep 100%. When you claim them, they go straight to your wallet, all 100%, and they start earning reflections. Okay, does that make sense, guys? I hope it does. My recommendations are, I've got a few thoughts on locking. Don't lock a big bag unless you truly just want to. I broke mine up into smaller bags once I figured this out. Because if you make sure this thing isn't playing. Okay, good. Because if you lock a big old bag, and then later on you decide to unlock it early, you're going to pay 30%. There's a penalty for unlocking early. You can unlock early, but the penalty is steep. 30% of your principal. Okay. Oh, and with staking, that withdrawal is 1% of your principal. I don't know if I said that. But so like if I had 1 million tokens and I wanted to make a locking ladder, I would break it up into smaller locks. So I could nuke one and pay 30% on only one. And then if you lock one day into the next higher tier, you will start earning from that tier. So if you wanted the 100%, you could lock 9 years in 1 day. Okay. What else? I want to say that's it. Give me a second. I got to get my eyes on. Yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. Like what I did is I look at locking as 3 things. Oh, and your tokens stay in your wallet, by the way. Even when you're staked, you're going to see them in your wallet. So don't try to transfer them because we get it all the time in the Telegram. People want to transfer tokens, but they're staked. They're like, why can't I transfer? It's because they're staked. You can see them in your wallet, but they're not liquid. They're staked. Unstake them. Go check, verify in the dApp. Unstake them, and then you can transfer them, sell them, whatever you want to do. Oh, let's see. I think that's about it. Locking tiers, not one big lock, 1 day in the next tier. Yeah, that's it. Unless I'm missing something, and you guys can let me know if I'm missing anything. Okay, there is a big. Oh yeah, here's another thing I wanted to touch on. Talk about the difference between reflection, staking, and locking. There's a big difference. Big difference. Reflection rewards and staking rewards are based on the volume and the price of the tokens today. So $1 million in volume today, and the price. How do I put it? There's $1 million of volume. That volume is going to pay you based on the price of the tokens today. But the locking rewards, the 30% penalty that goes to all the other lockers from people that end their locks early, those tokens are sent to the lockers, not based on the value of the tokens, but on the quantity of the tokens and their position in the locking pool. So if you have a 1% position in the locking pool and somebody unlocks 1 billion tokens and distributes 300 million tokens to all the other lockers, you would take you would, garner 30 or 1% would be 3 million tokens out of 300 million. It'd be 3 million tokens. And it doesn't matter if the price is 404 or $1 each. The contract does not discriminate. It's going to send all the tokens to wherever the wallets they need to go to. And that's one of the beautiful not alien tech. It's a superpower for pTGC is the locking of tokens. And that's also a difference between holding rewards and staking rewards. So let's move on to UFO. That's just where we're at. We're moving on to UFO. But first, let's have a look at this slide. So here are the alien tech and superpowers for pTGC and UFO. pTGC's alien tech is the AMN bots and the net inflow being greater than the outflow. UFO's alien tech is the AMN bots. pTGC's superpower, it is a tongue twister, isn't it? Is its locking, which I just described. And that locking superpower is user-centric. UFO's superpower is, well, its thickest LP is with pTGC. pTGC is going to fly. And its other superpower is the UFO shares, which are user-centric. We're going to explain the UFO shares here in just a couple minutes. So let's go back to the DApp. I'll show you exactly how to get there. We'll walk through UFO. We might get this wrapped up in maybe just over an hour, which would be wonderful. Here's the DApp again, same DApp. You select UFO token this time if you want to go do anything with UFO. And on this DApp, you can see, if you click on this one, you can see your rewards, your LPs, your LP rewards, and all of that. You can do two things with UFO, just so you know. You can hold it, and just like pTGC, your rewards come straight into your wallet. You don't got to claim them. You don't got to trigger them. And then you can LP it. And the LPing you would need to do on the DApp. Don't do it in PulseX if you want the rewards from the UFO system. You got to do it on the UFO DApp. And you can only do two things. You can't stake UFO. All right. So if you want to enter an LP, you got to have UFO tokens in your wallet. You select UFO liquidity pools. And then here are the 7 different tokens that you can pair with UFO. And again, I don't recommend UFO pTGC because you're going to pay the fee going into both of those. The fee for both of those going into that pool. And then the other caveat is the UFO PLS, where you will pay the UFO fee exiting that pool. But what you would do is you select manage pool, add liquidity, select however much UFO you want to LP, and you have to have an equal amount in PLS. And then what you would do is select add new liquidity, sign it in your wallet, and you'll have a new LP. Okay. Are there any questions? If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. That's what I'm here for, to answer your questions. Okay. So what you would do is after you add your LP, if it were me, I'd want to go see it on the DApp. So let's do that. Back out, go back up to and select UFO token. And there is an updated website coming soon, and we'll just have to learn how to use it. Then you'll select UFO PLP rewards. And then wait for it to populate. And you'll see all the rewards earned for reflections right here. And the rewards earned in PLS for LP. And you can claim your rewards. You can claim them all with this button or individually up here. Okay, I want to draw your attention to this right here, UFO shares. You see where it says 1 million UFO shares? That's because I put 1 million UFO into that LP. So the UFO shares, excuse me, guys, sorry about that. The UFO shares and the UFO are equivalent. If you put 10 million UFO in an LP, then you get 10 million UFO shares. And the UFO shares is what is what determines your portion of the rewards. It determines your position in the pool that garners you the rewards in PLS. Okay. So the UFO shares have value and they don't change. That's the beauty of them. If you enter a pool with 5 million UFO, you're going to have 5 million UFO shares. And regardless of impermanent loss, which everyone is going to incur on one of those tokens or the other, your UFO shares remain fixed. And I want to show you a very important slide here that show you how valuable they can become. So I simulated unpairing some UFO, like 1 billion shares. Let's say I had 1 billion shares. And at the time when I made this, which was, I guess it was on May. No, when did I make this? I think I made this in August. I have to put the date on there. But there was 261 million UFO in that LP. It started with 1 billion. So it has 1 billion UFO shares, but there's only 261 million in there. So listen, guys, if I had unpaired that LP, I would only have 261 million UFO. Well, that's a problem if I want UFO shares, because I just diluted myself by unpairing. Now, if I want those shares back, I can only get 261 million UFO shares, not 1 billion. So what do I got to do? I got to buy them. I got to buy 739 million. Cost me $29,000. And I got to buy the equivalent on the other side, 648 million PLS, $29,000. So the UFO shares, A, are going to become very highly valuable in the future. And B, people are incentivized to keep them. Like, I have UFO shares from back in May 2024. And I'm like, you want my UFO shares? I want the cash flow from those things, So I think they're going to become very valuable in the future. Just sold all your crow. Okay. You guys having a conversation in here. Okay. All right. Let's see. You'll know. Congrats being with a winner. If you're here, you're winning also. All right, guys. I'm glad you're having fun in the chat. Just be careful about other tokens, guys. This is the thing. This is my opinion on it all. Is that, there have been gains made in other ecosystems and been brought over to the grays. I know that. I've done it myself. Not on PulseChain so much. But what was I going to say? You just got to be. There have been a lot of losses too. People take their grays and flip it into another asset, and then they lose their shirt. I am not kidding, guys. I've heard the stories. Oh, man. It'll break a guy's heart, man. Don't do that. Inject fresh capital or take some other bag and flip into the latest and greatest, because it happens all the time, guys. And I'm telling you what, man, I have a watch list of some of the favorite. We're going to it right now. Because we're done with UFO. We're moving on. Let me make sure. Oh, on the DApp, a couple other things before I show you my list. The UFO pool, it doesn't matter what pool you enter, they all share alike. Okay. PTT is going to make the most X's than any other crypto out there, in my humble opinion. Also, John May. And yeah, check this out, boys and girls. Watch this. Let me get this pulled up. All right, it's time for show and tell. Yeah, Doe, you got it, man. Yeah, me too, man. Like legendary banana. Thank you, K-Flow. I'm popping that up. Legendary banana. Who ever heard of such a thing? I appreciate you, man. Okay, so watch this, guys. I got to make that a little bigger. Okay, we're going to look at a few assets. Okay, hold on. Did you see Justin Sun went went on Jeff Bezos' rocket into space. He paid so much to get on. Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't follow a lot of that stuff. If it popped up in my Twitter feed, I might see it. Right, we're going to look at one thing here. We're going to look at performance against the L1. Here's pTGC on the monthly. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it on the let's look at it on the daily. I don't want to though, because look how bad that looks. That looks so bad. All right, let's do the weekly. Let's do the weekly. That's better. Guys, this is crypto. If this frightens you, then maybe you shouldn't be in crypto because, you know, we're going back to previous all-time highs against PLS this is Hex, in my humble opinion, in my experienced opinion. Okay, can I put it that way? In my experienced opinion. Here is pTGC against PLS. Now we're going to get onto my list. You got off topic. Okay, that's fine. This is my watching list. All right, you guys ready? Remember, let's go with remember. On the weekly against WPLS. Oh, I got to hit WPLS and then the weekly. Do you guys remember? Okay, that's remember. Let's go back to, let's look at secret. Any of you guys involved in secret? Let's put it on WPLS and look at the weekly. I might have to do daily. I was pitched on secret. Okay. Let's go look at another one. What's another one? Finvesta. Well, this one's actually been performing pretty well, but how's it doing in WPLS? There you go, guys. Guys, let's put it on the weekly. So to be fair, I want to zoom all the way out. Well, that's not doing too bad. But how far is it up against? It's up 757,000% from the second week. So it has done great. You know, I'll just be honest, but how much is pTGC up? 750,000% on the weekly. What's pTGC from the second week? 288,000%. Okay, so it's a double. But I'm not flipping all my stuff over into Finvesta, I can tell you what. What else should we look at? Solid, should we go there? Against PLS, I'm ignoring the chat, guys, just for a few minutes. If you're trying to get my attention, you're not going to get it for a few minutes. There you go. Solid X on the weekly against WPLS, the only chart that matters, pretty much, in my opinion. That's my favorite metric. What's another one? Teddy, Mo, Hard, Beast. Let's look at, let's do Sparta. And we'll end there. Against WPLS on the weekly. Now there's a good one. They had a nice pump. But it's down. From the second week, it's down 30%. So the only contender in here, let's go back to Finvesta. And in USD, it's up 382,000%, and WPLS. But this is the thing about Finvesta, guys. Admin keys. LP. What is the state of their admin keys and their LP? Does anybody know? I knew at one time, and it convinced me of why our DAO, the pTGC DAO, has not paired with it. Most? You want to try most? Let's look at most. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah, let's look at most. It's a good idea, guys. Because we actually have an LP with most. Do we not have, let's look up most. MOST. And that stands for Most Wanted, in case you guys are wondering. Most Wanted, Richard Hart. Most WPLS. In WPLS terms on the weekly. How about it? I mean, come on. You know? Okay, so the highest performers in that lineup that I just did are pTGC and Finvesta. But Finvesta has something to do with the admin keys because they have to be able to like create new tokens and do bonding with them or something. I don't know. I'm not the expert at Finvesta, but it is so successful that we would have bonded with it long ago if it didn't have that admin key LP. I think it's got one of those. It's got a dink against it. You know, it's not perfect. You know, so we just have to be responsible with the precious DAO money. You just heard that Justin Sun was crying that Trump was not using his chain. Oh, wow. He'd join us on PulseChain. Sometimes, you know, everybody says they're going down the ship. I disagree. Sometimes it's wise to jump ship, man. Get on the lifeboat, man. PulseChain's the lifeboat. Remember the 5th of, what about your mom? Yeah, let's not. Yeah, we'll skip that one. It's too new, I think. I don't know the ticker for you, but we did look at most. Hey, Justin. Is there any updates on more marketing devices hitting homes? Do we think a 0.01 pTGC is possible and or probable by end of September or October? Ooh, I got some news on that, Justin. I'm so glad you brought it up. Possible by end of September, October? Actually, I hadn't thought about it like that, but I am thinking it's possible. Go watch. Here, let me grab this link for you guys. Just confirm for me, guys. Just confirm for me that sorry, distracted by chat. Confirm for me that you can click on links in the chat there, if you would, please, while I go find this link for you guys. This is it's going to be a link to an audio. Hey, John. John, is that you that just joined my Telegram? All right, I'm copying the link. Just bear with me, guys. Watch this. So I'm going to answer, Justin, your question in reference to this video link right here. Win Prairie Banana token. Yeah, I've thought about it, but no, maybe. I'm not going to be one of those guys that say I'll never launch a token. I mean, hey, man, if I came up with an idea or somebody gave me an idea for, you know, fabulous tokenomics or a meme coin that has something to it, you know, and I had capital to, you know, build the liquidity and all that stuff, sure. You know, I ain't opposed to that. I just don't want it to, it ain't going to be no rug pull. It ain't going to be no rug pull. Oh, man. But yeah, it's an idea that I have batted around, but not seriously. Updates. Marketing devices hitting homes. I don't have any updates, but they did hit the homes and they've probably been opened up all week. So people are getting exposed to PulseChain, Hex, and Richard Hart. And I think it was only 400,000, but maybe less. 400,000 is a big number. 10,000 is a big number. Try counting just to 100. Okay. These are big numbers, and there are millions of these things going out. We're like, what are we right now? If you go to look into ptgc.com and go to the homepage, we're probably 30x from a cent. I think pTGC is about 30x from 1 cent right now. Let me check this out. 24x. Justin, everybody, pTGC is going to 24 cents. I mean, 1 cent. I mean, I'd bet, what would I bet on it? I'd bet $1 million pTGC we're going to a cent. Absolutely. Now, time frame. And if we go to a cent, which is easy, if we go to a cent, 10 cents is right there, man. Now, $1, 50 cents, 20, 30, 50 cents, dollar. That's more, obviously, but I think we're heading there. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I think, listen to this video, watch that video that I just dropped a link in. And then there's another video that the guy posted. He has a very unusual delivery. So you just got to look past that. I think it's interesting. He's clearly a dad. So watch that video. He's got another one about Ethereum, what he thinks Ethereum can do this cycle. Okay. But the biggest takeaway and the too long to read on that video is that right now, he claims, and I have not fact checked this, but there are 91 ETF applications right now in the SEC's inbox that they need to make a decision on by the end of October. That's what he claims. I don't have any reason to disbelieve him. I don't know if he showed any evidence. It would have been cool. 91. If half of those are approved, it's big time. Big time for crypto. So between now and the end of October, yeah, we could absolutely see 1 cent pTGC by then. And I hope we do. I really hope we do. And especially with the mailers going out and we are entering alt season, the stars are aligning, guys. When Prairie Banana Token, you're so funny. And that was you. You confirmed the link works. Thank you. Awesome. Because I don't want to waste time dropping stuff in the chat if you guys can't bounce off of it. $10 pTGC. Dude, it's one of those things that, is it probable or is it possible? It's absolutely possible. Is it probable? Well, it's less probable than it is possible. But it's the possibility that I'm here for. Thank you, X over Alpha Crypto. I love your name, X over Alpha Crypto, for reposting the stream. Really appreciate that. 1 cent UFO. Yeah, man. Woo. How about more? Let's do more. All right, let me drop this down and get back on task here. I think we're done with that. And then we did that. Let's go do some moon math and get out of here, guys. You see 50 cent pTGC in your crystal ball and a 5 cent UFO. Yeah, I got to make a video today, guys, because the little short video I made, on my YouTube and my Twitter yesterday about a $2.92 pulse. Some people are asking me, like, how do you get to that number? I'm like, okay, well, we're going to record a video about that. So I got to do that today and pop it up. Yeah, $10 pTGC would be crazy. I think 10 cent to $1 is more realistic. Yeah, hopefully above 50 cents. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what, man. Look at some of my posts from earlier this week. Okay, I think I can just tell you. Oh, okay. You've got, let's say we have 10 million mail pieces going out. And it could be double that. You got 5 shipping containers, and I need to do the math and figure out how many you can pack in a shipping container, because that could tell us. But then the containers are different sizes. So I got to figure out what the sizes are. Let's say 10 million mail pieces, 2% response rate. A really good response is 3.5. Okay. What if we get a really good response rate? Okay. So, but 2% response on 10 million mail pieces would be 200,000 responses. I did a poll on Telegram. Do you know what the average capital injection in the first 6 months of a user's time in crypto was? And that's of people that are here right now, which are the most avid fans. So I cut it down to by a half. So the average was $24,000. I cut it down to $12,000. If you get a 2% response, which is 200,000 new buyers injecting $12,000 of capital over a 6-month period, that is a $2.4 billion of buy pressure on PulseChain It doesn't account for any sell pressure. $2.4 billion. That equals a $2.92 pulse. You know what it did to pTGC? It was over $100. If we had, I don't remember the X factor I did. It was probably 5 because 10 would be just. Okay, you guys follow me? You catching my drift? It was $100 pTGC. Man, I hope that comes to pass with just 1%. With just 1% of that would be crazy. $50 hex. Yeah, man. And if hex goes to 50, where does that put pTGC and UFO? Oh, I'm playing with the numbers. Yeah. Yeah. $1,000 what? Justin? $1,000? Oh, you meant $1,000. You guys are, yeah, $12,000. So again, to recap, did a poll. The guys, there was over 120 people that answered it, and the average was $24,000. I know I put more than that in my first 6 months. I was like throwing everything that I could find into crypto. It was more than $24,000, but the average is 24. I reduced it by half. And if you do the math based on the mailers of just 10 million mailers, 2% response, which could be low, no sell pressure, $2.4 billion of buy pressure on PulseChain, which sends the price to $2.92. It's crazy. And we all know that the pTGC and UFO are going to outperform. We have for 2 years now outperformed PulseChain. So if it goes to $2.92, we're gonna do more than that. Has anyone compared and contrasted pTGC to Bitcoin? Like the number of coins is like 15 to 1. What would price be for pTGC from low to high to equal percents gains of Bitcoin? Ooh, that's a thinker, dude. I'm going to screenshot that, and then maybe we can use that on Spaces. Hold on, I'm going to make a note. Screenshot. Thanks, Lemonade, for the thoughtful question. I'm not even going to attempt to answer that on stream. So $1 could be possible and probable based off that 2%. Absolutely. I mean, and that 2% doesn't account for any organic growth outside of the direct person that opened up that package. When they put their first grand in, and 2 weeks later it's worth $1,200, and they put another 5,000 in, they're like, I want to 5x this. And then at that point, they're telling all their relatives and their friends, their coworkers. It's like a wildfire. It's going to be like a wildfire. So that doesn't account. The 2% doesn't account for the wildfire effect. Remember last time Pulse did a 5x, pTGC, we did near 50x. Yeah, Pulse did a 4x, pTGC did a 4 to 2x. Just because of the reflexivity. Billions. Yeah, I know. It takes your breath away. It really does. I don't think we need to do any moon math. We just did it. So that's it, guys. I think we're gonna shut it down. I want to get another short video out there. Why? So that I can. I told my wife yesterday. You guys, hopefully you think this is funny. I was telling her about all the responses to my videos and stuff. I says, honey, I'm making myself a celebrity. I literally am. I'm a guy that puts his pant legs on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. But with this social media, I can literally, if I spend the time and put the effort in, I can get myself in front of people, and they think I'm somebody. I'm just a guy with a mic, a camera, and a computer, and a little bit of knowledge and maybe some skill. And the reason I want to like get these short videos out is because it's broadening my influence. And the only reason I want to have a broader influence is to draw people A into the Gray's currencies, which are the best assets on PulseChain, but they got to come into PulseChain first. So let's get them onto PulseChain and get them into pTGC and UFO, and then they're going to be fat and happy. In my opinion, at this moment in time, that's exactly where everybody in PulseChain needs to be, is in the Gray's currencies. That's my opinion at this moment in time. So that is my goal. And I'm inviting you guys to join me in that effort. If you want to join my Telegram, I'll pop it in the chat again. Join my Telegram if you're interested in helping people onboard, answering questions. My goal is to drive people into that, new people into the Telegram. And it's kind of an experiment, but even if nobody comes from outside of PulseChain, we're still going to have a great time in there. And I'm trying to add value. You'd like a signed copy of my book? Oh, Polygon. I appreciate that. How can I sign it? Well, this is what we can do, guys. When the book comes out, you're going to get a link to go buy a copy. And then if we ever have a Gray's currency, I mean, you can obviously just mail it to me. I'll sign it and send it back if you needed to do that. But, you know, maybe at some point we'll have a meetup and you guys can bring your books. Or I'd probably sell books at the meetup. I'd probably send a box and then everybody could, then I could sign them too. You're not fooling me. I know you are not a human. You're a Gray. Banana token to $1. You guys cracking me up. All right. I appreciate every one of you guys. Let's go out there and crush it this week. For the rest of the week we got. Let's bring people onto PulseChain, treat them well, treat them right, get them excited about what they just discovered, educate them, and make them raving fans of the Gray's currencies, or just holders too. We're looking for wallets. All right, guys. We'll see y'all later. Have a great week.